What if the moment your child looks away from you is not rejection, but a silent strategy their nervous system learned before they could speak? Most parents feel a sting when greetings are met with a shoulder shrug, when stories aren't only a blank stare, when how was school is answered by the ceiling fan. Today you'll discover why that quiet is usually protective, never proof of less love. We'll travel from Freud's candlelit Vienna to 2024 brain labs without the jargon. And you'll leave with microscripts you can try tonight that respect autonomy and rebuild connection in under 60 seconds. Stick to the final truth. The repair ritual only works if you understand the 6 patterns that precede it. Truth 1. Which infant calms fastest when mom returns? The one who cries loudly or the one who doesn't cry at all? Mary Ainsworth filmed both. The silent babies looked self-contained, almost cool. Heart rate monitors told another story. Spikes of 180 beats per minute, same as the criers. They weren't calmer, they were covertly bracing. Attachment science calls this a deactivating strategy. Minimize visible need to guard against unpredictable comfort. The task for the adult is not to force eye contact, but to make safety so predictable that closeness stops feeling like a risk. Try this line while you keep a soft shoulder angle. I see you're studying the floor. My eyes will be here when you're ready. No follow-up questions, no extra pressure, just a breadcrumb of availability. But what teaches a child that closeness is risky in the first place? Truth 2 rewinds to the caregiver side of the dance. Imagine a text that simply says K. Now imagine that as a parenting style. Edward Tronick's still face experiment shows how fast the break happens. A mother goes flat for 90 seconds. At first, the infant amplifies, coos, reaches, points, then turns away as if the wall is suddenly safer than mom's blank stare. Unavailable does not mean abusive. Chronic stress, late shift emails, depressed mood, even cultural stoicism can flatten responsiveness. A 2004 meta-analysis of 3,500 toddlers linked maternal depression to child withdrawal with a solid medium effect. The exit ramp is simple honesty plus repair. Try, my mind was on my emails, let's restart. I'll put the phone in the kitchen so my face belongs to you. Hand the child the physical phone. The symbolic surrender lowers tension faster than any apology adjective. Sometimes, though, the opposite problem, too much closeness, pushes kids away. Truth 3 explores the suffocation side of the spectrum. Every toddler's favorite word is no. It is also their first love letter to individuality. Margaret Mahler watched 200 toddlers negotiate playgrounds. The mothers who hovered inside every Lego placement raised children who later showed 3 times more ignore and bolt episodes at 24 months. Development demands boundary lines. Enmeshed bonds, where a child is asked to soothe the adult, to be a confidant, to carry the emotional male of the household, collapse those lines. The result is not more closeness, but secretive distance, the only privacy they can seize. Reframe autonomy as loyalty to self, not betrayal of you. Say, I'll sit on the couch, you build the castle. I'll admire from here unless you invite me closer. Then actually stay on the couch, feet still, phone down, so the invitation has weight. Yet not every glance away is relational. Some kids are wired to pause before playing. Truth 4 decodes temperament and neurodiversity. Would you call a cat cold because it doesn't fetch like a golden retriever? Thomas and Chess found that roughly 15% of babies enter the world slow to warm. They need multiple previews before they commit to engagement. Aversion for them is sensory regulation, not rejection. Children with ADHD require 2 to 3 extra seconds to shift attention. Kids on the autism spectrum may listen better while looking at the wall where input is quieter. Force eye contact, and fMRI shows their amygdala activation doubles, overwhelm masquerading as disinterest. Offer an alternate path. You can look at my shoulder or the window. Whatever helps your brain hear me. Parallel play is still play. Connection has many doorways. Add in TikTok, Fortnite, and classmates who answer back instantly. Truth 5 measures the gravitational pull of peer culture. Your child can now carry 30 friends in their pocket. No living room required. UCLA time use data show the average 10-year-old spends 4.5 hours with peers and media versus 18 minutes of direct parent talk. Cross-cultural lens matters. In Manila multi-generational homes, sitting side by side in shared silence is read as togetherness. In Toronto, the same behavior can be labeled disengaged. Name the pull out loud to neutralize it. Try, let's park phones in the shoebox for 15 minutes. I'm curious about your meme folder when we're done eating. You acknowledge their world before you ask them to visit yours. Yet none of these pulls operate in a vacuum if caregivers aren't under strain themselves. Truth 6 spotlights the hidden weight parents carry. Oxygen masks descent. Should a parent grab theirs first or the child's? The still face paradigm is bidirectional. When infants give the blank stare, maternal oxytocin drops 21% in 2 minutes, creating a mutual shutdown spiral. Stressors stack. Financial precarity, single parenting, special needs appointments at dawn. An 8-week mindfulness group increased mothers follow comments by 35%. Child bids rose 28% in lockstep. Model the regulation you hope to see. Say my tank is on E, I'll drink tea for 5, then we talk. Self-care is not selfish. It is the prerequisite for contingent responsiveness. Good news, patterns are plastic. Truth 7 delivers the micro-moment recipe proven to rewire connection. Neuroplasticity keeps the lights on until age 99. Your child's brain is still taking applications for a secure base. Circle of Security researchers asked 100 parents to add 5 low-pressure watches helps enjoys interactions each day. 10 weeks later, observers blind to condition measured a 26% drop in avoidant behaviors. The trick is not length but repetition. Try the beams ritual 5 times a week. B. Breathe together for 3 seconds. E. Eye soft gaze optional for the child. E. Express an observation, not a quiz. M. Micro wait, 3 seconds of silence. S. Share a nod, smile, or shoulder bump. Total time, under 30 seconds per beam. 90 cumulative minutes per week predicts reclassification from insecure to secure in follow-up studies. Microscripts you can drop tonight. I'm just gonna sit here and sip, curious if anything feels fun to share. Saw you score that goal, highlight reel in my head all day. No demand, no interrogation, just a signal flare that warmth is on standby. 7 truths 1 through line. Ignoring is data, not a diagnosis. Let's stitch them together and retire the myths that keep parents awake. Myth 1. Ignoring equals disrespect. Reality, often it equals self-protection, sensory regulation, or normal autonomy. Myth 2. It's the mother's fault. Reality, behavior emerges from temperament, caregiving, stress, culture, peers, and neurobiology. Myth 3. If he cared, he'd engage immediately. Reality, safety precedes closeness. Love and expression are not identical. Myth 4. Attachment styles are permanent. Reality, patterns shift with consistent, attuned care and supportive contexts. Signals to watch with curiosity, not a clipboard. Does your child avoid eye contact only during transitions or when the kitchen lights buzz overhead? Do they re-engage after 30 minutes of side-by-side Lego silence? Do arguments spike when closeness is demanded rather than invited? Are there signs of caregiver overload, flat voice, slower response that thin the emotional soup for everyone? Gentle, evidence-informed steps that respect autonomy. Consistency over intensity. 5 beams outrank 1 monthly big talk. Choice and predictability. Let them know when and how connection is available. Co-regulation first. Lower your own voice. Unclench your hands. A calm nervous system invites another calm nervous system. Boundary clarity. Protect the child from adult confiding. Honor bedroom doors. Headphone time. Diary islands. Repair when ruptures occur. Name what happened. Own your part. Invite reconnection without pressure. Seek support. If depression, trauma, or neurodevelopmental differences complicate the dance, a good therapist is cheaper than years of guilt. Children seldom ignore because they feel nothing. They ignore because they learn something. That closeness can overwhelm, disappoint, or demand more than they can give at that second. Or simply because their developmental task is to become someone separate from you. Freud gave us the language of intensity and yearning. Modern science gives us the tools for safety and repair. Bridge both, and you can read ignoring as a message, not an insult. A message about thresholds, boundaries, and trust. The work is patient, small reliable moments, respect for space, and the belief that connection is grown, not grabbed. Tonight, test one microscript. Tomorrow, notice if the glance lasts half a second longer. Keep the tally not on the child, but on your own predictability. Over weeks, the ceiling fan will answer fewer questions and your shoulder will become the safer wall. Remember, when you trade demand for dependable presence, warmth becomes safe to accept again, usually in a glance, then a word, then a lean.